Good morning, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you all today. Today, we will be exploring some key challenges faced in manufacturing and quality within the pharmaceutical industry. Our focus will be on manufacturing and quality challenges in pharma manufacturing, a critical topic for ensuring drug safety and efficacy. In this presentation, we'll look at the main hurdles, discuss some solutions, and share insights to improve processes. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to a productive session with all of you. Welcome to this section on pharma manufacturing. Here, the key focus is on ensuring safety, efficacy, and quality in every product we produce. These three pillars are absolutely critical because they protect patient health and maintain trust in our medicines. Now, to achieve this, the industry operates under strict regulations. These regulations come from various authorities around the world, such as the FDA in the United States, which enforces standards under Title 21 CFR Parts 210 and 211. In Europe, we follow the EU GMP guidelines, and globally, the WHO GMP standards are recognized. It's important to understand that GMP, or good manufacturing practice, is not just a set of guidelines. It is a legally enforceable requirement worldwide. This means that compliance isn't optional. It's a legal obligation that guarantees products are consistently produced and controlled to quality standards. By adhering to these regulations, we ensure that every batch of medicine is safe, effective, and of the highest quality, ultimately protecting patients and supporting public health across the globe. Let's take a closer look at the manufacturing life cycle. It starts with raw material sourcing, where we select high-quality ingredients essential for producing effective medicines. Next, we move on to API synthesis, the process of creating the active pharmaceutical ingredient, which is the core of the drug. After that, we have drug product manufacturing, where the API is formulated into the final dosage form that patients will take. Lastly, the packaging and distribution stage ensures the product is safely packed and reaches patients efficiently. Now, a key scientific concept here is that critical quality attributes, or CQAs, depend heavily on two things: critical process parameters, or CPPs. These CPPs are the vital process variables that we control and monitor to ensure the CQAs meet the desired standards. Maintaining tight control over CPPs during each stage of the life cycle is crucial because it directly impacts the quality, safety, and efficacy of the final product. Connecting this to the overall theme, understanding the manufacturing life cycle and the relationship between CQAs and CPPs helps us ensure consistent quality throughout the drug development process, ultimately leading to safer and more effective medicines for patients. Let's take a closer look at the regulatory expectations that guide our quality systems. First, we have the implementation of ICH Q10, which focuses on the pharmaceutical quality system. This provides a comprehensive framework to ensure quality is built into every stage of our manufacturing process. Alongside that, ICH Q9, R1, emphasizes the importance of quality risk management, helping us proactively identify and mitigate potential risks. A strong focus here is on data integrity, which is vital for maintaining trust and compliance. We need to ensure that all data is accurate, complete, and reliable. Validation is another key aspect, making sure our processes and systems work as intended and consistently produce quality products. And of course, thorough documentation supports all these efforts, providing an audit trail that demonstrates our compliance and continuous improvement. Remember, good manufacturing practices, or GMP, serve as the foundation. They translate these quality principles into controls that are auditable. This means our quality system isn't just about doing things right. It's about having verifiable proof that we are meeting the standards consistently. All these elements together help us uphold the highest quality and ensure patient safety. Let's take a closer look at some of the key challenges we face in this environment. First, regulatory complexity. We're dealing with multiple global agencies such as the FDA, EMA, WHO, and MHRA. Each of these has their own requirements, and they often update their expectations quite frequently. This means we need to stay constantly informed and adaptable. Additionally, there's a trend towards stricter enforcement of good manufacturing practices worldwide. This increases our compliance burden, making sure we meet the evolving standards across different regions. For example, a process that's approved in the US might require additional validation steps for approval in the EU. So, even though the core process may be the same, the regulatory pathway can vary significantly, adding layers of complexity to our work. Overall, navigating this regulatory landscape requires agility and meticulous attention to detail, especially as these standards continue to evolve. Let's talk about a major challenge we face in our industry: data integrity, which is actually the top observation cited by the FDA on their 483 forms. Ensuring data integrity isn't just a good practice, it's mandatory, especially with the ALCOA plus principles in mind. These principles emphasize that data should be attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate, with the plus adding further emphasis on completeness and consistency. Now, what are some common failures that lead to data integrity issues? One major problem is missing audit trails. Without proper audit trails, it's impossible to verify or trace the history of data changes, which raises serious questions about its authenticity. Another critical failure is data falsification, altering or fabricating data to meet desired outcomes. Data integrity is so vital because poor practices here often lead to serious regulatory actions. For example, falsified manufacturing data can trigger an import alert and even result in a product ban, which can be devastating for a company. Maintaining rigorous data integrity isn't just about compliance, it's about protecting patient safety and our company's reputation. Let's talk about contamination control. There are several key types we need to be aware of, including microbial contamination, cross-contamination, and particulate contamination. Each of these can pose serious risks to product quality and safety. Poor sanitation and cleaning are major GMP violations, and they can lead to critical issues like sterility failures. For example, if aseptic practices aren't followed properly, it could result in a product recall, which is costly and damaging to reputation. Now, moving on to process variability and scale-up. It's important to remember that lab-scale processes don't always translate directly to commercial-scale production. Scientific factors such as heat transfer, mixing kinetics, and reaction pathways can behave differently at larger scales. This discrepancy can have significant impacts, including batch failures or variations in impurity profiles. For instance, during scale-up, unexpected impurity formation can occur, which might compromise the product's safety and efficacy. Overall, controlling contamination and understanding the complexities of scale-up are essential parts of ensuring consistent, high-quality manufacturing. Now, let's take a closer look at supply chain and raw material risks. Global sourcing can be quite complex, and with that complexity comes certain risks we need to be aware of. For example, variability in raw materials can impact product quality, and there's also the risk of counterfeit materials entering the supply chain. GMP standards demand full traceability and thorough supplier qualification to mitigate these risks. To illustrate, if we change a supplier, it can lead to an altered impurity profile in the product, which might cause batch rejection, a costly and time-consuming issue. Moving on to quality systems, weak quality management systems, or QMS, pose significant challenges. Issues like ineffective CAPA, corrective and preventive actions, and poor deviation investigations can undermine quality. Regulators often point out weak investigation systems as systemic failures, highlighting their critical importance. For example, if deviations keep recurring because root cause analysis isn't properly conducted, it indicates a systemic problem. Addressing these issues is essential to maintaining product integrity and compliance throughout the manufacturing process. Let's talk about documentation and SOP compliance. Failing to follow written procedures or having incomplete batch records can lead to serious issues. Non-adherence to SOPs isn't just a minor slip-up. it's a major compliance concern that can jeopardize product quality. For example, if a batch record is incomplete, that batch can be rejected, which impacts production and compliance status. Now, moving on to inspection and compliance pressure. Since COVID, we've seen an increase in inspections, making it more challenging to stay ahead. This has resulted in more warning letters and import alerts for companies that don't meet regulatory expectations. The FDA, in particular, continues to enforce strict standards around data integrity, sterility failures, and validation gaps. A real-world example is a facility that was banned from the U.S. market due to GMP violations. It shows how serious noncompliance can be and the consequences organizations face if they don't prioritize adherence to regulations. Overall, maintaining documentation and SOP compliance is crucial not just for passing inspections, but for ensuring product quality and regulatory trust. Now, let's look at some of the emerging challenges we're facing in this evolving landscape. First, biologics and advanced therapies are becoming more complex, which naturally increases the difficulty in manufacturing and quality control. At the same time, continuous manufacturing processes are gaining traction, offering efficiency, but also demanding more sophisticated control systems. Artificial intelligence and digital GMP are transforming how we operate, but they also introduce new regulatory scrutiny, especially for these complex products. It's crucial to stay ahead of these expectations to ensure compliance. Technology and digital transformation are key drivers here, but they come with transition challenges. Moving from paper-based systems to electronic ones, for example, requires careful planning and execution. Automation integration is another hurdle, making sure different systems communicate seamlessly. A lack of digital systems can seriously impact data reliability and compliance. Think about it. Without a solid audit trail, it's nearly impossible to demonstrate compliance during inspections. This example highlights how critical digital systems are to meeting regulatory standards and maintaining product integrity. Overall, these challenges underscore the importance of embracing innovation, while carefully managing the risks and regulatory requirements that come with it. Let's now turn our attention to mitigation strategies that can significantly enhance our quality management. First, implementing a quality by design, or QBD, approach helps us build quality into the product from the very beginning. It encourages a thorough understanding of processes and emphasizes proactive control rather than reactive testing. Alongside that, adopting a risk-based approach, as outlined in ICH Q9, allows us to prioritize our efforts based on potential risks. This means we focus our resources where they matter most, reducing variability and preventing issues before they arise. Moving on to strengthening our systems, data integrity is absolutely critical. Ensuring that our data is accurate, consistent, and reliable underpins all quality decisions. We also need rigorous supplier qualification processes, so we work only with trusted partners who meet our quality standards. Finally, digital GMP systems are transforming how we manage compliance and quality. These systems improve traceability, facilitate real-time monitoring, and help us respond quickly to any deviations. Altogether, these strategies form a comprehensive approach to mitigate risks and uphold the highest quality standards throughout our manufacturing processes. Let's now look at how strategic adaptation plays a crucial role in our journey towards quality excellence and conclude our discussion. First, implementing a pharmaceutical quality system based on ICH Q10 is fundamental. This framework helps us establish a robust, proactive approach to quality management across all stages of production. Next, adopting digital GMP systems is essential in this modern landscape. These systems enhance real-time data collection, improve compliance, and increase overall efficiency. They enable us to stay agile and respond swiftly to any quality issues that may arise. In addition, leveraging advanced analytics allows us to gain deeper insights into our processes. This means we can identify potential risks earlier and optimize our operations based on data-driven decisions. Finally, embracing risk-based approaches is key. By prioritizing resources and efforts on the most critical areas, we can ensure our quality systems are both effective and sustainable. All of these elements, digital tools, advanced analytics, and risk management, are interconnected. They reinforce our overall strategy to maintain high standards, adapt to changing regulations, and continuously improve. Together, they form a comprehensive approach that supports our commitment to delivering safe and effective pharmaceutical products. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you with any questions or additional resources you might need. Feel free to contact us at the provided details. And with that, I want to thank you all sincerely for your time and attention today. Your engagement is truly appreciated. Thank you,